Star Boy is back, people. Bukayo Saka with a winning goal. Arsenal 2, Fulham 1. Fantastic result. Before we get into the match reaction, please make sure you're smashing that like button, hitting the subscribe, keeping it here for all of your Arsenal news wherever you are in the world. Just making sure you subscribe to the channel. It's me, Distant Gooner. Let's get into it. So no surprises, people. Bukayo Saka back on the bench for yesterday's game. It was widely reported, wasn't it, that he'd have some parts playing this game. And I'm not going to lie, I was one of those people that wanted to basically keep him in bubble wrap, make sure he's protected, not put him out there too early. But yeah, he was back on the bench, and what can I say? I'm absolutely buzzing that he got on and scored a goal. It was just, yeah, absolutely brilliant to see, and he looked quite sharp as well. So fantastic news for us. Other than that, in terms of the lineups, no real surprises. Let's face it, people, these days the team kind of picks itself. You know, we have Martinelli on the left, Marino up front, Wanyeri on the right. The only surprise really was Ben White has obviously picked up a niggling injury in training, which was disappointing, particularly when we experienced the injuries we did last night, which we'll get into in a bit. But yeah, other than that, no real shocks in terms of the lineup. Right, let's get into the actual match. And I've got to start with something that's just pissing me off with Martin Ødegaard. Why can the guy not shoot? I mean, he had a chance in the first half, and he just, you know, it's right in front of goal, and he just blazes it over the bar. He's got no sophistication when it comes to shooting at all. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with him, but he cannot fucking shoot. It's just, yeah, it's just crazy. Aside from that, it was a pretty comfortable performance, guys, wasn't it, really? I mean, looking at the stats, possession-wise, it was pretty even. But, you know, in terms of the chances, I mean, we had 17 shots, they had 9, 4 on target against their 3. So, yeah, I mean, if you looked at the stats, it was fairly even, not a spectacular game, and nothing major in it. But I do think from an attacking point of view, we were better than them and worthy of the win in the end. First off, not loads of chances, but again, we're kind of used to that, aren't we, right now, in terms of what we've got up front. There was a fantastic, I was going to say a fantastic opportunity. It wasn't an opportunity. It was a shot out of, you know, nowhere, a real quality shot from Wanyeri. So Martinelli was going down the right, crossed it in for Wanyeri, and he did a fantastic left-footed volley, but it was point blank at the keeper, and you'd expect him to save it, and he did. But then in terms of the first real talking point of the game was, of course, the injury to Gabriel. And this is a big one, guys, isn't it? I mean, if there was one defender that you wouldn't want to get injured, it would be him. I love Saliba. Like, he is a proper Rolls Royce of a player. But Gabriel, he's like a throwback, isn't he? So he's like our Tony Adams these days. He puts his body on the line for everything. He's such a fighter. Fantastic player, as well as, of course, being a threat in the opposing box for corners and stuff like that. Adama Traore was playing the ball through. He went to kick on to try and chase back and immediately pulled on that hamstring. And it didn't look good, did it? I mean, he went down pretty much immediately. And, of course, even when he was leaving the pitch, and Kivior come on for him, by the way. But, yeah, when he was leaving the pitch, he was shaking his head. It didn't look good. Whether he was sending a message to us fans, I don't know. But it kind of looked to me that, yeah, he's going to be out for the foreseeable. And of course, the big one is the Real Madrid games that are coming up shortly. And it's let's face it, it's a massive miss. Of course, like Arteta said after the game, it's been a crazy season, hasn't it, for injuries? Absolutely crazy. And you just get this. I mean, it's football. You know, one season you don't have injuries. You know, like last season, we were, you know, that's what the frustrating thing was about last season. We were quite consistent in terms of the amount of players we had available, and we you know, we should have capitalised on that, you know, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, this has just been one of those seasons where they're just dropping like flies, people, you know, and it's just, we just have to crack on with it. As however disappointing it is what it is. So yeah, he gets injured, and then just before half time, I say just before half time, so it's 37 minutes, a nice little link up by Ødegaard and Timber that put through Wanyeri on the right, And he did a fantastic cutback to Marino. Rather than just whipping it across, he spotted Marino on the edge of the box, cut it back for him. What can I say about Marino? And I'll probably get slagged off for this because I know I've slagged him off quite a lot. He just sort of bumbled around with the ball. I'm not saying it was like quality control because I just don't think it was. It was just kind of like bobbling around between his legs. And then, to be fair to him, he got the quick shot off, which probably might have surprised the defender. But ultimately, the defender sticks his leg out and the ball just hits it and then trickles in past Leno, giving him absolutely no chance. There was no quality finish in that. He just hit it, and it hit a defender, went the opposite way to the keeper, and we're 1-0 up. But, you know, he's there, he scored the goal. It was perfect timing because, of course, we were coming up to half-time. It was really important to get the 1-0 before half-time because, of course, we know how this goes in the second half. The pressure would have built. Fans would have been more frustrated. So, yeah, it was good to it was a relief, should I say, to get that 1-0 before half-time. And then moving into the second half, nothing was really happening, to be fair, until Bukayo Saka came on. I suppose it was always going to happen, wasn't it? It was always going to happen that he was going to get on about the sort of 60, 65-minute mark. And, of course, that's what he did. Straight away gets on the ball. And to be fair to him, looked pretty sharp. So, you know, I was pretty impressed. And the goal, you know, again, it was really, really nice to see. I mean, bit of good play by Martinelli, plays in Marino, who falls over and crosses. It luckily deflected and then arrived at Saka. Saka's just there, isn't he? He's there in the 6-yard box, ready to pounce, heads it comfortably in, and that's what you need. You know, we know his ability at going past players and he's scoring great goals, etc. He's crossing, but it's just his football intelligence as well. You know, the positions he gets into that we've been missing, along with everything else that he offers in the game. So it was just fantastic. And of course, he ran straight over to the fitness team to thank them for all the work they've done. Hopefully, he can kick on from here and not have, touch wood, not have any further injuries off the back of this. But of course, later in the game, Timber went down with a knee injury. I think he suffered it earlier in the game, to be honest, but ploughed through with it, and it eventually got to the point where he couldn't go on anymore. So he's obviously been hauled off. But towards the end, Fulham, I mean, if you look at it, they could have easily gone away with a draw out of this game. Muniz, I mean, he was literally in the 6-yard box in the middle of the goal. Cross comes over, free header, and he somehow manages to head it wide. Thank God he did, but he should have absolutely buried that. It was an absolutely shocking miss. I guess he made up for it in injury time. He managed to get hold of the ball, get a shot off. I think it came off Saliba. Again, it was a deflection that kind of sent Raya the wrong way. He'd already kind of made his movement, so he wasn't to blame for that. But yeah, I mean, if Muniz would have got that goal that he should have got, who knows, it could have ended up being a draw. Thank God it wasn't. So yeah, it was a vital 3 points. I mean, I know we haven't got a lot to play for in the league, but if you're looking at the league table at the moment, it brings us back within 9 points of Liverpool. And on the weekend, we move on to Everton before the big game against Real Madrid. Of course, the talking point from this game is the injuries. So going into the game, we learn of Ben White being injured in training. We've lost Gabriel and we've lost Timber. Now, of course, we don't know how serious they are. Arteta came out after the game, didn't really know how serious it are, but let's face it, it looks like it could be a bit of a layoff for him. We knew we had Calafiori out as well because we lost him in the international break. It's mad, people, innit? I mean, you know, this is like I keep saying on this channel, our defence is blessed in terms of numbers, but even they're going to be stretched right now. So, you know, we haven't seen Tomiyasu all season and we're not going to see him anyway. So add that to the 4 that I've just mentioned and, you know, we're even stretched there. But like I say, you know, it's getting to the point where it's a bit of a joke now. Like, we're just, you know, we just have to crack on with it. And to be fair to them, we have done, I guess, if I'm giving some credit to the club, and I perhaps haven't done over the last few weeks on this one, we are still second. I say that because I think, you know, we should be closer. That's more my point in being second. We're not a close second, are we? We're quite far off. But I guess, yeah, with all the injuries we've had, we're still up there. We're still in the Champions League. So, you know, perhaps should just give a bit more credit to Arteta and the actual squad for that. But yeah, we just have to crack on with it, people. It is what it is. You know, we've been tested all season. So let's just focus on, firstly, Everton's game. and then we move into the Real Madrid game. And yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll not have as many injuries for that, but we'll see. Once again, people, love to know what you think. Please let me know in the comments. What did you think of the game? How pleased are you to have a Star Boy back? And make sure that you smash the like button as always, and please, please, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks.